This woman treats the company's cleaning lady like dirt. Every day she humiliates the humble employee in the most degrading ways possible. You will be revolted, but in the end you will be surprised. Moments before, the same woman named Jennifer was kissing James. Their affair is secret and she was afraid that they would be caught. According to him, there is no risk because the door is locked. Just as things were getting heated, the cleaning lady Angela catches this scene. The man orders her to be quiet and to close the door. The cleaner points out that this is the company's meeting room. But Jennifer questions the presence of the cleaner in a space for important people like that. She agrees that perhaps she holds a less valued position, but highlights that she is working, not doing indecent things. Calling her a useless little maid, the woman demands that Angela not tell anyone what she saw, then threatens her with dismissal if anyone finds out. Afraid of this, she promises she won't tell anyone. "I hope not," James comments. Shortly after, a man shows up and asks if that is the meeting room, because he has a meeting scheduled with Richard Monte Cristo. The cleaning lady lovingly greets her husband. However, he does not allow her to touch his body and call him love. He claims that it is unacceptable for her to touch his clothes with her dirty hands. The other woman comments that that cleaner is always meddling where she doesn't belong. And James implies that she is foolish and doesn't understand that she is from a lowest level. She, poor thing, is offended by everyone and, clearly disconcerted, requests that they leave for 1 minute so that she can clean the meeting room. The in-theory coworker expects this to happen quickly, since the man who just arrived doesn't have all day. The rude woman proposes that they go to the company cafeteria to get something to eat, and then she accompanies him so that he can be introduced to Mr. Richard. The cleaner's husband agrees with the suggestion and thanks her for her kindness. Before leaving, James throws something in her face, saying that now she can start working. Humiliated, she has no choice but to start cleaning. A few minutes later, Angela and Jennifer meet again. With a pointed finger, she in an aggressive tone orders the cleaner not to think about telling what she saw in that room. She implies that she is capable of doing anything and asks if the cleaner understood. She, in turn, assures that she will not tell anyone. Not satisfied, Jennifer claims that she has not given her permission to leave, and the cleaner explains that she needs to fulfill her obligations and still has a lot of work to do. The rude woman comments that being without a job will be the least of her problems, as she is capable of making Angela's life a hell. With her head down, the employee points out that she is only working to pay the rent and bring the daily bread to her table, nothing else. In her ironic way of speaking, the cruel woman sets out to feed the cleaner. She then bends down into a vase of flowers, takes soil with her hand and rubs it all over the humiliated employee's face. She cries, not understanding the reason for so much hatred against her. Her husband, who is supposed to protect her, suggests that this happened because she is nosy. Grabbing her tightly by the arm, he comments that no one must know about their marriage. She questions why he is doing this. According to her husband, it is shameful that a businessman like him is married to a mere cleaning woman. Looking into his eyes, she recalls that it was this humble cleaning woman who helped him when he was unemployed, and she asked nothing in return. The truth makes him so nervous that he threatens his wife if he loses this important opportunity in that company. James appears and asks what's going on, and the cowardly husband replies that the cleaning lady was offering herself to him. The employee also comments that he imagined she was like that and points out that the innocent face doesn't fool anyone. He even says that she must have offered herself to someone important to get hired, and the woman asks what he is talking about. The man then oversteps any boundaries and states that she does indeed have an interesting body. Without any respect, he asks how much she charges for the service. She rebels and tries to hit him in the face with a slap, but he grabs her and insinuates that she doesn't need to pretend to be innocent. She manages to break free and replies that he is a scoundrel. Without apology, he leaves. The husband, who stood by and watched his wife being humiliated, says that she seems to be the company's toy. Angela demands respect. After all, she is his wife. The relationship between the two, though, is insignificant to him. He claims to feel nothing but contempt for her and shouts at her to go back to work and stop pestering important people. In her boss Richard's office, Jennifer shows no scruples. Seeing the manager's computer and his headphones, She listens to music and dances. Also, she sits down at the desk and starts to throw important papers up as if she were at a party. But her true character is made explicit when she opens one of the drawers and finds a significant amount of money. She doesn't think twice and hides the various bills inside her dress. At this moment, the cleaning lady arrives and catches a glimpse of the theft and asks what is going on. Jennifer laughs and replies that she is not doing anything special. She, nevertheless, knows that the boss's office doesn't get messy like that and realizes that she was the one who did all this. "Don't you think I can do it, little maid?" she asks in her typical arrogant way. But Angela refuses to be quiet and questions why she is doing this. Planning yet another cruel move, she begins to shout for her boss Richard. The businessman then shows up and is outraged to see his office all messed up. Besides everything cynical, she tells her boss that she was passing by the office and found the cleaning lady messing everything up. Angela explains that it is all a lie. To try to convince Richard, she claims that besides being a liar, the cleaning lady was bothering the businessman who will have a meeting today with the boss. He is incredulous and questions Angela about what is going on with her. The employee assures him that it is all a lie and she would never do anything wrong in the company. He doesn't believe her and gets angry when he sees his office turned upside down when he is about to have an important meeting. Jennifer reveals she has something more important to tell him. Lying, she pretends to be embarrassed to tell him, but he points out that she has an obligation to tell him everything that happens in the company. She says she is shy to tell this and he starts to get nervous. The cynical woman tells that the cleaning lady is doing more than dating with a colleague in the conference room. "That's a lie," she retorts. But Jennifer claims to have seen the whole thing. Without evidence, he takes Jennifer at her word and says he is incredulous that the cleaner did this while at the company. Very angry, he says that she will have to bear the consequences of her actions. She tries to explain herself, but he interrupts her and asks the other employee for a favor. He would like to talk to James and the new partner, because he needs to apologize for what happened, blaming the cleaner again. So he releases the secretary to communicate to the other two men, and she leaves the room believing that her plan will work. To Angela, he orders her to tidy up the office that she herself has messed up. She swears that after so many years of working for the company, she would never have the courage to do something like this. Minutes later, everyone is gathered in the office of the owner of the company. First of all, he would like to apologize for what happened today involving the cleaning lady Angela. Secondly, he reveals that he has a reward for the other employees, for everything they have done in the company. He hopes that they both enjoy this surprise. Jennifer is happy to believe that she and her coworker will be promoted to managers, but James doesn't seem too happy. When she opens the briefcase, inside is a red panty and a photo. The two are startled and the man responds that he has an explanation. But the boss orders him to shut up and comments that he is impressed with the shamelessness of the two. They have betrayed the trust he gave them both in the company. And furthermore, he reveals he knows that they insisted on mistreating Angela, while all she did was keep the company in great conditions. The secretary claims that this is all a misunderstanding, a comment that makes the businessmen laugh. He then explains that he saw everything and asks if they remember the security cameras, which they thought were broken. Actually, the cameras were repaired 2 weeks ago. With the footage, he can find out what kind of person worked for him, and he emphasizes the past tense verb. To make it even clearer, he announces that Jennifer and James are fired. Trying to play the victim, she says she has a child and therefore cannot be unemployed. "Oh, no? Then tell your son and your husband the reason why you were fired," replies the unyielding businessman. James, on the other hand, claims to have just financed a car. This, of course, does not change the business owner's mind. According to him, James is the worst of all, since he was given a golden opportunity and in return he stabbed him in the back. Richard says that he can't believe them both. Having said this, he orders the two to leave immediately, and the first to leave is the man and then the cruel woman. Before she leaves, the businessman calls her again and she gets hopeful, but it is only to get her to return the money she hid inside her dress and thought he would not notice. If she doesn't, he promises he will call the police. Without any shame, she starts to remove the notes and he orders it to happen faster. Genuinely dishonest, she intended to leave just like that, but Angela reveals that there is more money hidden. He hopes it's all there, yet the cleaning woman points out that there is more. And the former employee complains, as if she has a reason. After all the embarrassment, Angela's husband sits down at the table and introduces himself to Richard with the hope of making a big deal. Equally dishonest, he pretends not to know what was going on and tries to show the businessman his proposed project. First, he would like, in quotes, "your little maid to leave us alone," a definition that bothers the ears of the honest boss. And the rude man sees no problem in what he said. "Wouldn't you rather say slutty, dumb, silly?" Richard inquires, showing that he won't be fooled by him either. He points out that he has never met anyone so mediocre as to humiliate his own wife. He tries to explain his point and is stopped. The owner announces that he refuses to do business with someone as unscrupulous as he is. Desperate, the man claims that they need to close this deal as soon as possible. However, he reiterates that he refuses to be a business partner with someone who treats his own wife this way, and then he also demands that the cowardly man leave his office. Arrogantly, he decides to face the owner of the company where he is. Realizing that the businessman would not change his mind, he blames his wife and grabs her by the arm so they will leave, but she refuses to continue suffering daily humiliations. She is tired and orders him to go back to the house, pack up his things and leave, the house she has built and maintained alone for so many years. He calls her worthless, and Angela's boss prevents him from continuing this behavior and threatens to call security so he can get a fair lesson. Like any coward, he tucks his tail under his legs and leaves. Alone with the humiliated employee, he asks her if she is okay. He regrets that she, such a good and honorable woman, has been through so many challenges lately. Because he sees her commitment to the company, the businessman invites her to be promoted to the position of his personal secretary. She is deeply surprised by this possibility, which will result in a significant salary increase. Angela promises him that he won't regret it and pledges to be the best secretary he has ever had. He believes her and makes himself available for whatever she needs, be it work or personal matters. The now secretary is grateful for his support and asks if she can hug him, permission obviously granted by the boss. Life takes care of putting each one in their rightful place. That's why we always have to do the right thing. Because we never know who might be watching our actions. Story based on real facts.